How do you manage expectations of the client?
I manage the expectations around these goals.
What are the areas that you can look into to improve a saturated area in terms of PPC performance?
So there is always that formula that comes up, like lifetime value.
Have you seen any good results by optimizing throughout the day in any of the accounts that you manage?
We are going to stay there because the conversion rate is so much better than the market.
Is there anything that you recommend for the sellers to automate it?
Ecom Squeezed podcast.
Welcome back to Ecom Squeezed. I am a host, Sebastian, founder of Retail-Outsource, and today we have a very special guest, Vadim Soin, the founder of PPC Jumpstart. Vadim is the brain behind a performance-based Amazon PPC service that guarantees, remember, guarantees at least 30% revenue increase in 4 weeks, or you will get your money back. He personally manages every client account, no interns, no other layers, and aligns his success with their pay on results. Over the years, he has scaled brands from 20K to 1.2 million and helped generate over 25 million in ad sales. We will dig deep into the strategies, mindset, and failures and what it comes next. So we will dig into all those options and let's start the podcast. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you. Honestly, I'm excited to be here. And me being in Canada and you being in UK, like it's an odd time here, 11 p.m. But I'm totally down to do this because Amazon PPC, like honestly, it's my favorite topic out of all the Amazon related stuff. Product selection, shipping, etc. Like I just like talking about advertising because it could be so impactful if you get this right. Yeah, I'm excited for this.
Great. So my first question is, how did you come up with the idea that pay on results, you need to have like a strong system in place to offer that kind of guarantees, right?
Yeah.
If you can give us a background on that, please.
Yeah, for sure. I came up with this idea, after, working with my own clients and seeing that I could get results for brands that I do an audit for. I find the issues, and after that, I'm like super certain that I can get them results. Then I was like, why not change my offer and do it pay based on results, but only for the brands that go through the audit I do for them. Then if I were to find issues there, knowing I can fix it, then I take them on as a client. But I'm not just being honest with you. Sometimes I do an audit for a client, and sometimes it's not an issue with PPC. Sometimes it's an offer, it's a product. Usually I don't take this kind of clients. Typically newer businesses, like where the offer is unproven, they have issues with reviews, the market is too saturated. Whereas established brands, whose whole goal is to keep growing on Amazon and they already spend, say, $1,000 a month on ads, $500. This is the type of brands I want to work with, because usually at this level there is so much data involved that I can find a lot of things to improve upon. Yeah, and like I said, what gives me confidence to offer this guarantee is basically an audit I do before I even take anyone as a client.
Oh, that's a great to have filters, right?
Yeah.
And I think you also limit the number of clients that you take.
Mm-hmm.
So what defines the capacity?
Yeah.
How many clients you can manage? I think you're managing 100%, right, of the client account.
Yes.
You personally manage.
Yeah, so I personally manage, the strategies, the communication, like everything that comes down with management. So at the moment, I'm sitting at 5 clients. Maybe when it gets to 8 clients, this is the point where I'm going to ask myself, like, do I become an agency at this point? Do I have like a offering help with smaller accounts? But I kind of like my setup right now because I work directly with the people that I manage accounts for. The communication is just open between me, a client, doing ads, strategy calls. And it's very easy at the moment.
Yeah, that's great. And how do you manage expectations of the client? Maybe they have something like, let's say, they want to increase the ads sales by 40% or 50%. So how do you manage that?
Yeah, I usually I like to ask this question. So obviously every client, they want 2 things: increase sales, increase profit, and they want to do it at the same time. So I ask the client, if you were to pick one, or if I were to give you a scale 0 to 10, 0 being profit, 10 being sales, what number would you pick? And sometimes people say it's 10, they just want more sales despite being profitability. Maybe they're overstocked or they just wanna focus on being profitable. So they give me a number and then I base my strategy, my management around that. If they wanna be around 5, sure, there's gonna be a specific set of campaigns we will launch, how we manage ads, etc.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also like I audit a lot of. So I recently audited like a few supplement brands by the way from UK, and they have this like large catalog of like say 20 products. Some products they're like overinvested. So it's gonna get a bit technical now. There is like 30%.
Love technical. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah. There is 30% tacos, meaning for every dollar they spend, they get 30 back, which is too much sometimes. Some products it's 3% tacos, so I always explain to them, we need to level this out. We have this target tacos, say 15% account wide, and we have a target tacos on the product level. And yeah, I manage the expectations around these goals we set on the onboarding meeting.
Okay. And at the starting, you mentioned about auditing or filtering the clients that you take. So walk us through the audit part. What are the filters you have in place? What are the criteria?
So the audit, it's about. I'm just gonna pull this up on my end. So it's about 12. Let me see. It's about 10 different steps. We look at the total performance, and what I said, total performance is nothing but understanding your investment on a product level. Are you even investing in some of your ads? Are some of the products being overinvested? So it's just having, a table that's showing, okay, product A, $100,000 in sales, 10% tacos, good. Product B, say $50,000 in sales, 50% tacos, bad, etc. So first filter is very basic. It's like a bird's eye view. Like, what are we dealing with? Second filter is I look at ad type expenditure. How much is this brand spending on sponsored products versus sponsored brands versus sponsored display ads? For the last two brands I audited, they are spending on sponsored products, so about 80% of their ad spend, which is healthy. But I see this account, it's spending like 1% on sponsored display ads. So usually it's an opportunity for cross promotion across your catalog, for remarketing people who visited your page but didn't buy your products. This is a perfect use case for sponsored display ads. So again, second filter is looking at your ad types. Sponsored products, brands, display ads. What are we spending most of the money on? How do they perform in relationship to the whole account? And after that, this is where it gets more technical. We look at the campaign placements. What I find, and I think this in Amazon PPCs is like the biggest thing people get wrong, and it's the most important, is basically spending on the wrong placements. Usually product pages that convert worse on Amazon. And I think it's just a buyer psychology. Like when I'm myself on Amazon and I start clicking on other products, I'm least likely to gonna buy some of them. I'm gonna be researching. But when I'm searching for something and it's the top of search ad I click, I'm most likely gonna buy it. Because, I'm already like in that decision-making mode. Okay, I need this now. So, I see people spending on product pages without really understanding or just looking at this data, like $1,000 last month went to product pages at like 2% conversion rate, for example. Like, how do we fix that, right? This is a different question, but this is like a third filter I look at. Did you want me to pause here for a bit if I'm going too fast?
No.
Yeah. Okay. And fourth filter is just, it's looking at the non-converting spend, say like last 30 days. So anything with 0 orders and some spend, what does it adapt to? A healthy account is going to be around 20%, 20 to 30%. I've seen accounts, like I audited this account, they have $15,000 in ad spend per month. 10,000 of that is going towards something that never received an order or like at all. So it's like 70% of your spend is going, and I told them in theory, if you didn't spend this 10,000, you would have made 10,000 more. Like, it's not possible, but this is but we can get this down to 30% with, bid management, proper negative targeting, creating negative keyword lists. Example being, if you sell a metal product, you should never be advertising for plastic or any other material. Fifth filter is, like I said, the third filter was focusing on the ad type expenditure. The fifth filter is looking, okay, if we spend 80% on sponsored products, what are we spending on? Are we spending on broad, exact phrase match type? Are we spending on auto campaign? In good accounts that I see, or at least the accounts I manage, most of it is going towards exact targeting. The keywords where we convert well, the keywords where I know I can rank them based on like, you know, other data like brand analytics, etc. In the accounts I audit, sometimes I see like 70% of their ad spend is going toward product targeting, just targeting other products. And and I explained to the brand like this is not scalable. You could target other products, but it's gonna, you know, it's gonna show up for so much different stuff, not just the products. It's gonna show up for keywords related to this product. It's gonna show up for keywords, you know, that this product ranks for. It's just you're casting such a wide net that you're not giving even yourself a chance to, you know, to be targeted, to be more aggressive on certain keywords, which is the whole point of PPC, is to rank. Yeah. So this was, yeah.
So that's a great filter that you have, criteria. So you get the best clients at the end, right? According to what you want to serve. So that's a very good way of doing it. I will say that. You mentioned about placements.
Yes.
So I want to dig into a little bit on the placement side. So in general, since you manage a lot of accounts, so in general, where should a seller put most of their money in terms of placement?
Yeah, I'll explain that. And honestly, it all comes down to what kind of products you sell. Some people are selling non-subjective products. So let's say selling a duct tape or a paper, like, or a notebook. This is always going to be a product that works well on top of search because it's so specific. I mean, with notebook, it could be colors, etc., but it's still very non-subjective. Or I would say, like, say duct tape, always top of search. You know, the rest of search follow by product pages. But let's say you're selling home decor, you're selling pictures, you're selling dresses. This is a type of product that actually works well on product pages sometimes. And the reason being is that it's subjective. People usually want to compare different colors. It's not the type of product that you would search for, like, say, on Amazon, like dress for, like, say, dances, you would buy immediately. You would click a lot of options, compare all the listings you found, and then buy. So typically it's not a top of search decision, you know, it's not obvious. And this is kind of what I see. Usually most of the time, most products are like in the middle. You know, you have a product with a design, but there is always some subjectiveness to that. And usually it's, like I said, top of search and rest of search with, you know, with exemption being highly subjective products like dresses, decor, jewelry, which is going to be product pages placement that works.
And for example, for any listing, there will be a bunch of relevant keywords, right?
Yes.
And so in order to map the funnels for those keywords, how do you do that? For example, the top of the funnel compared to the bottom of the funnel. So for each keyword, the relevant keyword, how do you manage it in general? Means I know, it's quite deep, but in general, on the top, on the surface level.
Let me understand it correctly. Your question is more related, how do I decide whether it's a top or bottom funnel keyword? And
yeah, how to put more on the top, for each keyword. Maybe you want to do some push on the brand awareness, for example.
Yeah. So it really comes down to the product cycle. Like, let's just assume it's an established brand that's already dominating the niche. All the bottom funnel keywords highly relevant. So, and this is at the point where I'll start to focus more on the broad top of funnel words. Let's say, for example, the product is a snoring mouth guard, something that people use like as a guard to prevent snoring. Let's say it's dominating the niche. This is at the point where we start focusing on broad terms like snoring, sleep, rest, etc. And this is when you start expanding.
Good.
Is this a question you were asking, or did I totally get that wrong?
No. You got it right. Yeah. And in terms of, let's say you mentioned about supplements, right? It's quite saturated.
Yeah.
So what are the levers or what are the areas that you can look into to improve a saturated area in terms of PPC performance?
I'm a big proponent of, like, back then, maybe 5 years ago or earlier, it was all about ACOS optimizing your ads to spend as little as possible. But now, the ads are more advanced. The advertisers, like, People managing ads are more advanced as well. So now it's more of finding the right keywords, spending on them, breaking even, losing money, but you're getting that customer, and you know that this customer who bought your supplement is not gonna just buy once, it's gonna buy 2, 3, 4 times. So there is always that formula that comes up, like lifetime value. So I work with customers to develop that. We calculate lifetime value per product, and this is sort of how we came up with this target, tacos goal. How much are we willing to spend on a first new to brand customer in order to profit? And usually the profit, it's like a back-end kind of thing. First order, say you broke even, and then this guy comes back, he buys more supplements, he enters the subscribe and save list. This is all tracked, along with other PPC data, like we track subscribe and save growth, how fast this list is growing.
Great.
So it's really becoming more like pay to play kind of thing. Amazon PPC.
Yeah. I want to ask you about the day parting side.
Yeah.
So have you seen any good results by
Yes.
optimizing throughout the day in any of the accounts that you manage?
Yeah. So honestly, like any accounts with smaller ad spend, let's say you're spending less than 5K a month, I wouldn't even touch day parting. You're just spending too little. Let's say you're spending $1,000 a day on ads. I've seen good results from it, and I've seen great results for brands whose sales are, predominantly B2B. So businesses who are B2B, I actually run their advertising, and we only do ads in business hours. Night, evening, these odd hours, we pause our advertising completely. And I've seen great results from it. Because, B2B businesses, like let's say someone is in the office, they're buying, pencils from your business. They're not going to go home and buy it later. They make the decision when they're in the office at work. So why would we advertise in these odd hours? And you can determine how much you are of how much is your business influenced by B2B by simply going to business reports and just looking at the B2B sales in relationship to your total sales. And and this is going to dictate how important is day parting and say stopping advertising in non-business hours.
Yeah, great.
And yeah, and this is the type of accounts I've seen the best results for day parting.
Yeah. I think the problem with day parting is quite, it was a kind of a buzzword,
A
on
buzzword.
LinkedIn. And all these sellers who are spending, as you mentioned, very low, and they were trying to do day parting, they will not see that kind of results, right? There is not enough money spent to see.
Yeah, exactly. It's just and if this is an account that's spending too little, you could be making decisions on the wrong data because you just you don't get all data to analyze in the first place.
Yeah, true.
But I would say most of the time, any product, typically it's from say morning to lunchtime, 5 p.m. Typically at night, it's never usually a good time to advertise, unless you're some kind of sleep supplement, which then it's different.
That's true. I want to talk about KPIs for the account. Let's say their turnover is like $1 million per month.
Yeah.
And you're spending let's say 10% on echoes, 10% echoes. So for those type of account, what will be the top line KPIs will look like?
So top line meaning the most important KPIs, right?
Yeah.
So for this type of accounts, it's just net profit. People, the clients don't even worry about the tacos because they know the business so well, and then they worry about net profit. How much money can you pull from advertising? Spend as much as you want kind of thing. All I care about is increasing net profit. I have this client, he's not at the $1 million a month yet. He's at 200K. Yeah. I have this client who I manage ads for, and we did a calculation. I told him since your profit margins are so high, you are going to maximize your profit at say 25% tacos. And usually for most businesses it's abnormally high. Usually it's 10%, but for him, it's just a different equation. So we are just investing heavily in advertising, growing because we have such high margins. So and again, dependent on the business. Yeah.
Okay. I want to ask about campaign structure. This is something I ask a lot of people.
A lot of people, yeah.
Yeah. So in an ideal scenario, how does you structure a campaign for an account?
So I hope my answer is going to be different from other people, but
Love it, yeah.
yeah, I can let you know that there is a time for 1 keyword per campaign and there is a time for 1,000 keywords per campaign, and I'll explain why. I'm sure you've already heard a lot of people saying use 1 keyword per campaign, right? Then they explained
I've
why.
heard all of them.
Right? Yeah. So this is going to be the best way, and it's 90% of my campaigns.
Okay.
Maybe I'll talk about the scenario where we have 1,000 keywords per campaign.
Okay.
So, with Amazon algorithm and, there is so many keywords that your product shows up for or indexed for. Why not take advantage of all of them? There is different names for this strategy, but I have not seen anyone use it the same way as I do. So what I do is I check all of the keywords that the product is indexed for. Sometimes it's 3,000 or 5,000 keywords. And we launch a series of campaigns, as many as you want, because you can only have 1,000 keywords in a campaign. In each match type, so let's say if you are indexed for 3,000 keywords, 3 times 1,000 times 3, so 9 campaigns. 1,000 keywords in each match type, exact broad phrase, don't do any negative targeting, launch them at low budgets, and launch them at low bids, say 20% or 30%. 20 cents or 30 cents. So what happens is you're giving the Amazon a chance to show your product for these terms whenever there is a chance, whenever there is opportunity present in the ad auction. Sometimes there is going to be a chance where you could be shown for a 20-cent bid. Why not take advantage of this? So we have all of these 1,000 keyword campaigns targeting so many keywords, and over time, these keywords, they start showing up at 20 cents, 30 cents, they start getting orders. And let's say we got to a point where in any given campaign, there is 5 keywords that consistently work well. So there is 5 here, and so the rest, we just cut them out. We keep these 5 keywords in this campaign, and we just keep this campaign running. It's evergreen. We close the loop. We have these 5 keywords that gives us orders at low clicks, and they just keep running and running. And you just keep repeating that circle. You keep repeating these campaigns. When you get data, you pause the rest of keywords, you relaunch it, and then eventually you have say 10 campaigns that have these keywords that always show up for cheap clicks. And it's evergreen. Yeah.
Great,
Did you ever hear this strategy or a variation of this?
Yes, something similar. It's a kind of catch-all campaign.
Catch-all, yeah.
Not automatic catch-all, but on the manual.
In the
you
manual.
chuck all the keywords in, and then on a low bid.
Yeah, so
but it was exact though. You mentioned about broad. Yeah. So you mentioned something additional also. So that's a good point.
So this is pretty much a catch-all campaign, except we just pay a bit more attention to it once it's working. Get all the non-working keywords paused, so that you end up getting more attention to the keywords that are working. So and you end up with this small set of campaigns with say 4 or 5 keywords.
Yeah.
That are catch-all by nature, but they're they're small. They're very secret.
Great. You mentioned that you get around 3,000 keywords, right? So what are the sources? From where are you getting those keywords from?
It's just a Helium 10 reverse async is what I use. I'm pretty sure what is the other software Jungle Scout?
Data Dive, there are plenty.
Data Dive, I think Data Dive would be even better because it also shows you what your competitors index for as well.
Yeah. Great. And I want to pick your brain on search query performance report. Do you utilize that report as a part of your campaign?
Yeah.
Did you gather some information from those reports?
Yeah.
If yes, how you will be executing that?
Yeah, I would say it's the most important report, and I see this report as a way of telling Amazon, here are the important keywords spend on them. Here is your conversion on these keywords. Here is the market conversion on these keywords. And it's not just that. It's not just telling the conversion. It's also telling you on a keyword level if is an issue is your image, is an issue is your offer, or do people drop off after adding to cart? Did you want me to expand on any of that?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. So the number one use case is, like I said, when you go to brand analytics, you go to search query performance report, and each keyword, it has a search query score. So search query score of 1 is a way of Amazon saying, this is your keyword. You should definitely have some advertising running for it. And then, so this is just kind of like a simplistic way. You could also calculate the conversion rate on a keyword. You look at the total purchases on your ASIN divided by your clicks on the ASIN. You get your own conversion rate, and you compare it to the market conversion rate. So what I find is if your conversion rate is significantly better than the market on a keyword level, this is a type of keyword that is going to be very easy to rank for, and it sort of gives me signal. This is something we need to be aggressive on. We need to maybe allow ourselves to break even for a short period of time. Because once we get to spot 5, we are going to stay there because the conversion rate is so much better than the market. And then you could also treat search query performance as a funnel. So I'll try to explain it, but it's a bit difficult without showing you. So at every stage, impression, click, add to cart, purchase, it shows you your share, say click, impression share, click share, purchase share, etc. So if that percentage share drops off at every stage, it means at every stage you have a problem. So if it dropped off from impression to click, it means the image is a problem or a title. Whereas if it was opposite, let's say your purchase share, your impression share is lower than your click share, it means comparatively to other people you have a good image and good title. So you can use this as a funnel to understand.
That's a very good point, Vadim, that you mentioned about your click share versus the market click share. And if you see, that's a very, very good way of looking into the search query. And that's great that you brought it up.
Thank you.
I want to ask you about softwares. There are plenty of softwares to manage PPC in the market at the moment. So is there do you use that? If you use that, which one is that? Or if you don't use it, do you recommend any to the sellers out there?
Yeah, I've demoed like a lot of softwares in this space. I'm not gonna mention the names,
Sure.
Because I don't want to badmouth anyone. But I've tried the AI automation, hourly automation, etc. Like tools, basically saying that they're AI, even though it's just a set of rules.
Yeah.
I use AdLabs. There is zero automation involved. Yeah, you use it too. Okay, here you go. Okay, so this could be an advertisement for AdLabs, this podcast. It's amazing. There is no automation. Like if you know how to optimize your ads, this is just like a bulk sheet, but it's on steroids. You can take so many actions without having to download any bulk sheets, upload it back. Yeah, and I think I just like the analytics part too. Like they recently came up with dashboards. You can build a dashboard to track sales, tacos on a product level. Yeah, I just like it. It's simple. And it's not a black box. There is a software I don't want to name that's like just a set of rules and a lot of people use it. Do you really understand what these rules do? Like if you create 50 rules, is it going to apply to every product?
Yeah.
Like I think most of them are just black box. Like people use it without really understanding what's in that box. But AdLabs, it's all like you're driving 100% of the strategy.
Yes. Yeah. We have the same experience.
You do?
We have tried a lot of softwares, like on the both end of the spectrum. Like the one is fully AI automated, and so we found a balance that's like kind of manual hybrid, like the AdLabs there. So that's where we are currently investing our time on as well.
Are you guys also advertise? I think from what I understood, you're a full funnel agency, right?
Yeah.
Advertising, yeah. Okay.
But advertising is not our kind of strongest area. Yeah. Like we don't fully dedicate. So that's something that we always work with other people maybe.
Yeah.
And we have, for example, on the PPC management side, there are a lot of workflows, right?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things that you can do. I checked one of your videos on YouTube as well. So you mentioned a lot of things that you can do. And what are the things that we can automate on those workflows? Is there anything that you recommend for the sellers to automate it? That like simple things?
Yeah, maybe. And I want to give you like a good answer. So maybe I will start with the things you should never automate.
Okay.
This is like the most dangerous ones you don't want to automate. So the first one is keyword harvesting.
Okay.
I just recommend you do it manually. And, there are reasons why. There are keywords, that you don't want to target them. Maybe it's some branded keyword and you already have a good awareness. You don't want any brand protection. Some of the keywords, they are just too broad, and let's say you got an order or two, there is still no point of targeting them. I just like having more control over harvesting. Yeah, so I'm not a big fan of, automating bids placements. So this is kind of where Ad Labs come in. It does not let you automate it, but at the same time, it makes you faster in optimizing them. I just like to review the data. To answer your question, what you can automate is
Yeah. Is there any part of the
Yeah,
PPC management that you can automate?
yes,
Not the full one, any of the maybe one or two areas
yeah,
that maybe we
yes.
can automate?
You should, I'm currently automating day parting. Like, I don't go in there manually and post campaigns. Day
Yeah.
parting is number one, and it's kind of obvious. Second thing is budgets. So again, I would just be extra careful, but in general, you should have rules. If your campaign is constantly hitting good ROAS and it's covered by a budget, there is not ever a reason that this budget should not be increased. So campaign budgets, you could also do the same for the opposite way. Say if it's an underperforming campaign, let's cap a budget, and until we can figure out the right bid placement combo, let's keep the low budget. So day parting budgets. I'm looking for a way to automate negative keywords, but not in a way that most people think. Like, I don't want the automation to go there and pose any keywords with 20 clicks.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that. I want the automation to go there, look at the phrases, and okay, this is not relevant to our product because this is a product for women. I'm gonna negate this from all campaigns. So this is kind of like AI with AI flavor. Yeah.
I want to give you a scenario. Say I'm selling shoes, and that shoes, men's shoes, it having different colors, like 5 different colors. So it's a variation listing. And let's say the black one is selling well. The other black one is like 60% of the sales, and the rest of them are
Yes.
like 10%. So in that scenario, how do you advertise it? Do you advertise all of them, or do you advertise just the black?
Yes.
Could you just walk us through how do you
Yeah.
advertise that listing?
Sure. Actually, one of the accounts I manage, they sell yoga pants. They sell different colors. The best sellers are, from what I remember, blue, black, and pink. So any generic keywords like, say, harem pants or yoga pants for women, they will always be advertised with these best-selling variations. But say any colors that don't sell well or they don't convert well, for example, gray, gold, or red, they will be advertised in separate campaigns, but not for main keywords. They will only target color-specific keywords.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
Meaning that our advertising is focused on best sellers, but at the same time, we don't forget about the stuff that doesn't sell well. It's just other stuff is just for color-specific things. Like, say,
Okay.
gray is advertised towards gray, etc. But
So
main keywords,
you'll have different ad groups for that, or
yeah, different campaigns.
okay, campaigns. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And in terms of AI is taking a big role, right? And
Yeah.
we can see a lot of things happening. The new AI software is there for anything at the moment. So is there anything that you recommend, or do you have any custom chat GPT that you currently use to help you with any of the tasks that you do on Amazon?
Yeah, so it's something I used and I think I should do it more often. It's just a basic example of doing pre-negations. So you give context of your product to a chat GPT, you tell about your listing, you give it a description, and you ask chat like, hey chat GPT, give me a list of phrases that people could potentially use to search for my product, but it will never be relevant. So then once you have this list, and you can apply it to any old campaigns, and this is like a way to avoid wasted ad spend even before it shows up.
Okay, so you will put that into negative side, or you just said okay, negative. Okay,
Yeah.
okay, good.
I was also at the Accelerate conference in Seattle. Have you heard about Accelerate?
Yeah, I saw your pictures on
Thank you.
LinkedIn.
Yeah. I mean, I think I wish you were there too, but I know you guys in UK. There's a lot of conferences on its own, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the big part of the discussion in Accelerate was, AMC audiences. So AMC
Yeah.
just like, the buzzword. Before it
Yeah.
was day parting, now it's AMC. So I'm starting to look into this because I like the fact that this is a data directly from Amazon. It's not some other tool that you have to use or pay for.
Yeah.
Directly from Amazon, and it gives you so many good options like new audiences, people who bought multiple products or is just very detailed. So not an expert by any means yet, but I'm starting to implement this for my clients.
Yeah. I think that's some new tools, right? We are also, digging deep into it.
Yeah, I think, and I think in my opinion, whoever digs first and digs more, they will make the most money. Like while other people figure it out.
Yeah, exactly.
But now it's
I
very
agree with
new.
you, Vladimir.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I want to ask you also, there are always good stuff and there are always bad stuff, right? In terms of clients. So is there any account that you have seen that, no matter what you do, the air costs, you can't lower the air costs, so the CPs are so high.
Yeah.
It's very hard. It's very competitive. So in that kind of, tough situations, what you do, how do you manage it?
Yeah, it's it's a good question, and to be honest with you, it's difficult. Like a good example of this is being a consumable. Like say someone is selling salt, and the product is $9. The cost per click is $2. Like, what can you really do to rank this product? And this is always about setting expectations. The type of expectations to set with this kind of clients is that you are not going to be making any profit in a month one or even two, because this is what the niche is. This is your price. But by a month three, if you're willing to spend a lot of money and be in the red in the first couple of months, and if your product converts well, we can get your product ranked, and this is when we start earning profit. But these are the most difficult products to work with.
Yeah. Great. And I want to dig a little bit on the keyword side. So, for example, in the States, there is some Spanish speaking community, right? So a lot of keywords will be in Spanish, and maybe some misspellings on the English keywords. And so do you create campaigns for those kind of keywords, like misspelling, foreign language, and stuff like that?
No, honestly, I used to do a lot of this when I was starting out. Like, I was also like a seller myself in the beginning.
Yeah.
And this was like one of the topics Helium 10 was, promoting heavily. Use Spanish keywords in the back end. Yeah, I don't know. I don't do it as much, but I'm glad that you reminded me, because I think there is always a place and time for this.
Yeah, true. Yeah. That's great. So my last question to you, Vadim, is: do you want to share any hacks or something? That's something that people like any small tips that have a good outcome or good results for the viewers.
Yeah, I would say so. This is more of like a hack for like large brands who also sell to retail, and by default they would probably sell to B2B. Like, really pay attention to that extra tab that you've got recently business placements. Play around, bit adjustment. Typically this convert a lot better than the non-business placements. And and like I said, day parting. If you're a B2B brand, consider just pausing your advertising outright for non-business hours. This could make a real difference to your...
True. See, I agree with you, Vladimir. So the B2B side, I think it's picking up, and Amazon is trying to promote that for like a few years now. Yeah.
Exactly. When I went to this Accelerate conference, the very first person who approached me, they asked me if I'm a business. I said, yes, I'm a business. And then they're like, okay, if you sign up for this business account with Amazon, you could be like getting discounts.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, they're pushing it really hard. Yeah. Vadim, it's been fantastic to talk with you. Appreciate your time. And for the viewers, where can they find you?
Well, first of all, I appreciate your questions. I'm glad that, I really enjoyed this podcast and the questions you asked. It was very, detailed, granular, and I can tell that you already knowledgeable in this field. So I enjoyed this discussion. To find me, my company is PPC Jumpstart, or you could just email me at vadim@ppcjumpstart.com. And like I said, happy to do an audit of your account, if you are a fit, which is what we would discuss in our first call. It's like, I call this an intro call. We talk about your business, you can ask more about my expertise and see if we're a fit for each other. Yeah.
Great. So I will put all the Vadim's LinkedIn profile and the website details as well. So please book a free audit, and he's quite. Let me put this like this: I don't see that much of a people who manages one-to-one account. So on the Amazon space, Vadim is kind of a person who
Yeah, I think I'm kind of rare, maybe not so rare, but yeah.
Yeah. Means I have seen only one other guy who manages the account. He have like 10 accounts.
Oh, I
And the
see.
PPC side only it's you, I have seen. So the other ones are kind of agency. They have a
Oh, I got
list
it.
of
I got it.
SOPs and the
Okay.
staff will be executed. But one to one, you are one of the
One,
guys that I have only seen.
yeah, one to one and just PPC. Yeah,
Yes. Great.
yeah,
Thanks a lot, Vadim, for your time. Appreciate it.
yeah.
And
It
it's
was
it's
good
a
talking to you.
fantastic conversation.
Yeah, you know.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah.